Thanks for tuning in to Live and Learn. My name is Abdul Salam. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim family out there. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Today, we're going to jump right into it. I got 6 things for you that you need to let go of when you come home from prison. Tell you a little bit about myself. I did 7 years in Virginia DOC, Department of Corrections, for armed robbery, malicious wounding, and 2 gun charges. That was like one of the hardest things I ever went through in my life. But I got over it, and the way I got over it was number 1, of course, Islam, and number 2, I was conscious. You have to let go of being upset for anybody you feel like won't there for you when you was down. They ain't send you a kite, meaning a letter means a kite. They ain't send you a kite. They ain't send you money on your books, not even phone calls. One of the things that can hinder you from success is what we talking about right now. Success, getting through your bid, getting through your time, and when you come home after doing your time. This thing can hold you back, man. People on the outside, they constantly moving. They constantly got this to do, this to do. They worried about real life situations. And it's not that they don't love you. It's just that things going on, man. And sometimes people, move on. That philosophy, and I'm going to do a video on this too. But the philosophy of out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. Sometimes when you ain't in the picture, you ain't in the mix, people still got to go on. They got to live their life, man. So you have to, not saying it's right or trying to defend, people, because it's people that should be there, but if you want to move on, you have to let that go. You have to be strong enough to say that, look, man, yeah, such and such should have been there. They ain't hear nothing from them. That in my face when I get out, and they smiling, because you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of that. But you're going to get a lot of blessings from them same people, too. I came home, no little cuz won't there for me on the bed, I could say, for real. No letters, none of that. But she sure did drop a moment that I needed. She dropped that green on me. She dropped that money on me. And I was able to use that to make a lot of moves when I first came home. So don't always just know that you have to let that go. You have to be able to let that go. All right, let's keep this thing going. Number 2, if your butt was found guilty, and you was guilty, you have to, just like I said in number 1, with forgiving those who wasn't there for you, you have to be able to forgive yourself. You have to be able to forgive yourself for what you did, look at it, accept it, because a lot of people don't want to accept it, that what you did was wrong. I mean, you left your family out there. If you got kids, man, you left your kids out there. You left your girl, your wife out there, your mother, your father, your brothers, your cousins, everybody that needed you and that depended on you, and you took yourself out of the equation. You have to look at what you did and go in and accept that it was wrong, and then be able to move on from that. Let it go. One of the things I did was the individual that I robbed, I don't understand why, but the courts, they gave me this man's address. They gave me his address. And so I was able to sit down and write a letter to the individual. Now, to this day, I don't know if they got it. But I wrote a letter to him, and that helped me, get over that. Because when I got locked up, it wasn't like, I looked at it straight like, I'm this gangster dude that's gonna that's just all about crime and being grimy and doing this and doing that. No, I was able to be conscious, like I said, man, and acknowledge the harm in me getting sent away from my family. Cause see, when they put the cuffs on me, I look back and all I see is my kids, well, my daughter. I see my daughter, my mother, and my child's mother at the time. So I'm looking back, my brothers, I'm looking back at them like, and so immediately I was able to acknowledge that, man, I made a mistake. I was tripping. Didn't even need to do what I did for real. It was already jive good. So, I was conscious enough to see that. And writing that letter helped me relieve a lot of, or get rid of a lot of guilt that I had for myself. For putting myself and my family through that. And I think that, you should be able to do that, even before you come home. But once them gates open for you, you definitely need to be able to let that go. You know what I mean? And look to the light of the situation. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Number 3. All right, you should definitely let go of the things that you couldn't or that you can't control. It's a lot of situations that take place when you locked up and once you're free that you have no control over. Your situation coming home, you might be, I know in Virginia, where I'm from, Richmond, Virginia, it's difficult for a felon coming home. It's difficult for someone coming home from prison, trying to find a job and all of this, because you got to go in there, man. You got to tell them people, you did this and you did that. You know what I mean? That's another thing that we can get into another time about, how to address that situation with going into interviews and that, holding your head up with pride and being able to look them in their eyes and let them know, what time it is. But you gotta be able to just let go of the things you can't control, or you couldn't control, especially being locked up. Situations go on with your family, with the child of your kids. I mean, the parent of your kids, the other parent of your kids, and your mother. People die. I lost my grandmother. I lost a cousin. It just was like, sometimes it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable about, the things that was going on when I couldn't do anything about it. And you will see that people act like they don't know you. They forget who you was. So a lot of times, a situation that you can't control is going to take place because of that. Because you out of sight, out of mind. So people don't know. They act like they forgot who you was. And you have to be able to, before you get out or once you get out, you have to be able to let that go. Those situations, those things that happen, the people that have passed, you got to be able to let that go. You might be locked up, man, and somebody might have murdered one of your people, man. If you want to be productive and successful in this life, once you get home, you have to let that go. Some things I understand that they can't be let go, and that brings me right into number 4, which is the bottom line. Any anger or resentment or any negative feelings that you have to be able to let that go and move on from it. And don't get it twisted. Like I said, what I was mentioning in 3 bring me to 4 about it may be some situations that are just unjustifiable to where you have to address it. You have to go handle your business. You have to go do what you have to do. Now these are understandable. But what you need to take into account, man, is what's at risk. What you can lose, what could happen. You have to be smart. Sometimes I learned in prison, man, you really have to think for other people a lot. And even more so when you get out. That's a skill that I acquired in prison. And, you know, now I'm able to use it a lot more out here in the world. But you have to be able to look ahead into a situation and see, okay, if I do this, this could be the outcome. Or this could be the outcome. And you have to weigh your options. You have to be wise about it, depending on where you want to go. I'm going to drop this in here right now. We already know what it is. When you living in the streets, it's two things. It's two things that's chasing you when you in the streets. You can end up dead or in prison. So, you know, you have to be smart, man, because it's already like you're a marked individual. You got a flag, meaning a felony, or, you know, even if you got a bunch of the wrong misdemeanors, man, it hinders you, man. It hinders you, especially in certain states. In some states, you know, they ain't as harsh as Richmond, Virginia, but that's a commonwealth. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just got to take into account and be smart about your moves, man. But definitely you want to let go of any anger or resentment that you may have been holding on to when, you know, situations happen when you were incarcerated. This brings me to number five. Number five is fear. Fear. You definitely want to let go of fear. You know, my first day home, my people took me to Golden Corral. And, you know, I like to eat. Love to eat. Love food. I tell you what, when they took me in Golden Corral, man, and I was around all these people, you know, it just was like a shock to me. I was in shock. You know what I'm saying? I was in shock so much it took away my appetite. You know, so you know, that's, you know, you're gonna have a lot of fears, man. You have a lot of fears about the unknown and the future, and, you know, what you're gonna do to get money, because, you know, that's one of the biggest things that you're gonna think about when you come home. How you gonna survive? How you gonna make a living? How you gonna earn to take care of yourself? You know, because number one, you cannot take care of nobody until you can take care of yourself. So, you know, that's definitely something you know you should think about when you become a returning citizen, man. And just do away with the fear. Stand up and be ready to face whatever it is that comes your way. But you gotta face it smart, though. You gotta be smart with it. You know what I mean? You gotta you know, elevate. And, you know, this really brings me to the 6th point. And the 6th point is that you have to definitely let go of the person you was that got you locked up in the first place. Now, I got this thing I always say, where I be like, I got enough time. 7 years was enough time for me to get myself together. It wasn't too long and it wasn't too short. Because sometimes a person can be locked up and the time that they get don't have the effect on them that it should. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't register in their brain that, man, I need to change. And, you know, for anybody, no matter how much time you get, the sooner you can acknowledge that you need a change, like I said in one of the earlier points, you know, you gotta be conscious. You gotta be a conscious individual, man, and conscious of your decisions and know that your decisions don't just affect you. They affect everybody around you. Everybody you love, you know what I mean? So you can't just, you can't hold on to that person if you care about the people that you say you love. Now, you know, my dad, when I was incarcerated, you know, tell y'all a little story. My father told my child's mother that I didn't love them. And, you know, when I first heard what was said, you know, that don't anger me. It was like, what? I'm thinking like, man, who is he to say I don't love them? Why would he tell them that? I'm trying to get her to hold on to me, don't leave me. You know what I mean? And he gonna sit up there and tell her that I don't love her, you know. At first, that to me was crazy. And I still don't believe that he shouldn't have told her that. He should have came and told me. But I understand now. And I see what he meant. Because if I loved them, I would have never put myself in a situation to be taken away from them. You know, as a man, you should know how important it is. Or even as a woman, as a grown woman and a grown man, we should all know how important it is for us to be there for our family, to make to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't become out of sight, out of mind. So for for an individual that can't acknowledge that, man, be conscious that I cannot be the same person I was that put me in this situation. If you can't acknowledge that, you can't see that, man, then when you come home, it's gonna be, they call it I want to make sure I say it right, recidivism. It's gonna be recidivism. And what that is like a revolving door. The prison doors become revolving for you. You in and out, because you still ain't wake up. You still ain't see that person that you was trying to be or that you were is not the productive person that you need to be for your family. You're taking away the concept of having true love for them. You know what I mean? By putting yourself in that position. So you definitely gotta let that go and change. And decide that you will make a change, man. That you will be somebody that they can be proud of, that they can look up to. And you know, all of that. And it's a journey, man. It's a journey all the way from the point of being locked up to well after that, to, you know, till you die, basically. So, you know, you just gotta always stay evolving, man. Stay evolving. You know, it's not all about maintaining a gangster or holding the street code, because that stuff dead now anyway. You know what I mean? It's a whole new game out here. It's a whole new way to play. And, you know, you gotta just be smart, man. Just be smart. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the information that I shared with you. I'm gonna be bringing you more information and more topics about, you know, living and learning, man, because that's what it's about. You gotta live and learn, man. You gotta, like I said, the word is evolve. You always gotta move up, stay constant with that, man. Hit the like and subscribe.